Good afternoon and welcome to 3CTV News with Chloe Wallace and Simon Banks.
Today's top stories, we take a look at the life of international students and the struggles they're facing.
And with Christmas just around the corner, it's not just the snow that's piling up on our roads. With car parks filling up, it's time shoppers found an easier alternative. Also, an investigation into how university sports teams are funded and whether it's fair on everyone.
But first, we're looking at what it's like to be an international student in the UK and their struggles to fit into our community. Dravka Uzanova hears from a part of the world that doesn't normally get a voice.
The United Kingdom attracts hundreds of international students each year. What are the struggles they're facing here?
I've been living in the UK for 2 years, and so far I haven't had any problems. I've been feeling very well integrated by the English. However, as a foreign student, it could be hard sometimes to adapt to this whole lifestyle. There are some times when I would like to be more in a comfort zone surrounded by the international students than just by English people. But if you manage to mold yourself to different ways and to their ways, I think it won't be so hard to be accepted by the English community.
As it offers flexible and interesting educational system, England becomes second home for many foreigners. What are English students saying about this? Are internationals accepted or rather singled out?
First of all, sometimes I think they're singled out, but then I think it's nice to have international students there because you get to learn about all their different cultures and their different ways of life and how it's different to yours. I lived with some last year, so it was a good experience. I enjoyed it.
Whatever the struggles they are facing, internationals could be accepted very well. It's just a matter of time to get used with a new culture and different lifestyle. However, here's a different point of what could be a possible obstacle.
I think the main thing with internationals is their English. And if I'm honest, yes, a lot of internationals are a lot more hard-working, but with their English, they've got to be really a bit better English to be able to get the first day to work out there. So that's where those are hindering those people.
Finding themselves in a new challenge abroad might be difficult for everyone. However, open-minded and hard-working people will manage to adapt in a new community.
And we join Dravka now. So Dravka, can you tell us what else you found out today?
Well, according to the UK Council of International Student Affairs, the number of non-UK students increased by 10% over the last year compared to the year before.
So, do you have any idea where most foreign students come from?
Yeah, the numbers show that most they come from Europe, in particular Germany, France, Romania, France. However, even today when I had a chance to speak with some groups, they shared with me that they are happy and they enjoy staying over here, but they still find some difficulties with fitting in the community.
Okay, thank you, Dravka.
So, it seems car parks in Canterbury city centre are getting busier by the day. In the run-up to Christmas, drivers have begun queuing for the most convenient spaces. But why aren't people using one of the easiest alternatives? Jack Cheeseman finds out.
Scenes like this are becoming more common in Canterbury city centre as hundreds of people drive in every day for work, university or shopping. Most people decide to use the pay and display car parks, despite the fact they are always busy and quite expensive. So where should everyone park? Those visiting Canterbury Christchurch University have to pay if they park just off campus. This can be very inconvenient, but some lecturers have arrangements where they can use driveways in nearby roads so they know they can park with ease.
It's very convenient. They've got an empty drive because they're often out at work, the hours that I'm in. It's close to the university, so I don't have far to go. It works very well. I think it suits us all.
Another option is to use the park and ride. It's very popular with shoppers and workers alike, as it provides an easy route into the city and can guarantee users a parking space for only £2.50 a day. Each of the 3 park and ride sites for Canterbury are located just outside the city centre with big secure car parks. Regular users like the service because it's reliable and good value for money.
We use park and ride today because it's quick and easy to get into the town.
It's more efficient than my route on the ordinary bus, basically. It's every 10 minutes.
It's far easier to come here than it is to go into town because it's hard to find a place to park and it's very expensive.
I think most people appreciate the convenience as well as it being cheap. The buses run at peak times every 8 minutes, although in recent surveys every 5 minutes seems to be the norm. Yeah, it's proved to be very popular. The other convenience mostly for people is that they can car share and get the prices down as well.
As everyone seems to head for the inner city car parks to fight for a parking space, it makes more sense to save time and money on the park and ride. Jack Cheeseman for 3CTV News, Canterbury.
Jack's out in Canterbury. He joins us now. So, it appears the park and ride is a bit of an unused resource. How would it benefit people coming into the city?
Well, people have already started doing their Christmas shopping, and the parking spaces in and around Canterbury are filling up pretty quickly. This means that there are just no spaces for other drivers, and I was at the park and ride site earlier this morning and it seemed pretty empty. I spoke to some shoppers in town today as well, and not many of them had used the service. As you heard in the report, it's cheap and there are always plenty of free spaces. When there's a perfectly convenient shuttle service taking people into the city from 3 corners of the city, I don't know why it's not more popular.
Okay, Jack Cheeseman in Windsheep, thank you very much.
A reminder of today's headlines now. We found out how Layla Govertz has adapted since moving to England from France, as well as how a university lecturer gets around the issue of parking with her own unique solution.
Still to come, an investigation into how university sports teams are funded and whether the students agree.
Yes, with fees set to rise next year, students need to be aware of where their money is going after the cost of books, accommodation and food. Should they expect to be paying for hobbies and sports? Leanne Carpenter went to Christchurch to find out.
Transport, kit and equipment are all things that university sports teams need to be successful, but they all cost money. The question is, who pays for it all?
The union now supply us all money for transport, equipment,
affiliation teams and everything like that. I think them being in charge of the money though is definitely, even though it might be better for them as in budget wise, it's more difficult for us because we don't know how much money, so we can't really budget ourselves.
The students' union say they have a pot of money from which the teams can draw. But has it always been this way?
Last year was a lot different because we had sponsorship last year, and all the teams were sponsored by pubs or cafes or bars or something like that, and everything that the team wanted or needed, such as equipment, they were funded by the sponsored pubs or bars. But this year there is no sponsorship. Sponsorship's been taken away totally because we've just become a registered charity. So all the money comes out from one pot from the SU.
Whose responsibility should funding the sports teams be? Should it be the players themselves or their students' union?
Sports teams have a responsibility to raise funds for themselves.
Because we're the ones that obviously we want to play the sport, so I believe we should have some sort of role in paying for it ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think you can give sole responsibility to either the SU or sports teams because neither of them will be able to provide all the funds that they need.
I believe we should pay for most of it, but the SU should definitely help out with obviously transport costs and things like that.
At the moment, I think the general feeling is that sports teams don't have enough support from the SU.
I believe they should do a lot more to help us. A lot more kind of actually understanding and communicating properly with our teams. And yeah, just be basically just more involved in it. I feel they're quite distant at the moment from my own personal view.
Until a strategy is put in place to ensure funding is available for everyone, the debate will go on. Leanne Carpenter for 3C TV News.
That's all from us this afternoon. Hope you have a good evening and we'll see you tomorrow. For more information on today's stories, visit our website 3ctvnews.com. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Whoa.